record. Yes. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Welcome to another exciting episode of Life for the Page. Today we have an exciting guest, Elisabeth Lictevout, the director of IGRAC, International Ground Resource Assessment Center. I want to get into the point where you're just gonna start by telling us about your background and how you started with, your first corporation that you started working with, and all the journey and your studies and everything, and how did you get up to be now the director of this big organization that assists, yes.
Thank you. So you mean personally how my journey to this position, right?
Yes. How did you? Yes.
Yes, so I am by formation hydrogeologist. Even I am a geologist that after specialized in hydrogeology. So with my master and my PhD, and yeah, so when I graduated as hydrogeologist, I started working in France, where I'm from, but I really wanted to support countries where probably there was not those kind of professional, and that it was really needed to study and to understand groundwater. And so this is where when I decided to start working for for NGOs first, and then several years in different countries. And then I had the opportunity to work for the European Commission. But then I decided to come back to more scientific and research work, because I had experience of the humanitarian and development cooperation projects, but I feel that it's often a more scientific approach, or some problems should be approached with a more scientific methods or research, and that when I started to work in a research center in Chile as a director, I was in Chile for more than 10 years actually, and then the opportunity to come to IGRAC arise, and I'm here. I'm very happy since now 2 years and a half, and IGRAC is for me the perfect organization in the sense that it's in between all what I've done before. So development cooperation to support countries that need this support. Research, we do research, and for me it's important. It's often the entry point to it's always, I would say, the entry point, and research from a broad view, understanding, including any kind of knowledge, etc. But and also work with international organization, because IGRAC work with UNESCO, with the World Meteorological Organization, but also with UNEP, the UN Environmental Program, etc. So this is and this I think this is the perfect, not perfect, but a very nice setting to try to make some change. No, this is at the end what we want, and to improve the situation of people the sustainability of the planet, the equity, the justice also, this is part of it.
It's very astounding work that this organization does, because I was actually listening to your previous interview with I think it's IGRAC. I can't recall the but you were speaking about the challenges that Spain and Portugal that are experiencing for like the heat waves, because there was like 1,000 in that time. I think it was last year. It was
Yes.
1,700 people got killed by those heat waves, you know, because now there's a lot of climate changes. Because at that time they were in Spain, I think the temperature has exceeded like 44 degrees at the time.
Yeah.
So I think your work arouses around assessing groundwater and specialize in case of reservoirs, how you can help certain countries, you know, implement certain, let's say, activities to prevent those hazards or death hazards, etc. So can you please elaborate on your work more and how you work with certain companies and projects, and how you help like globally the world in those activities and stuff like that?
Yes, thank you. So at IGRAC, we focus on groundwater monitoring and management. So basically, we need data. We need we need understanding. And for understanding, I mean, we could do what our ancestors were doing and observing nature. Unfortunately, today it's less and less possible, no? Because we have not the time. we are not in the place, etc. No, so basically, this is when you need data. You need and also the magnitude of the changes. I mean, and the speed of the changes. A call for, of course, bit different approach, which is also complementary to others, but we need data for, and especially for groundwater, because we cannot see groundwater the majority of the time. And sometimes we see a spring, we see a wetland, and this is groundwater. But the majority of the time we don't see groundwater, so we can pump and pump and pump without feeling or seeing the impact. Yeah, and the problem with groundwater is that even if at some point you see the impact, it will be years after, because the process of groundwater are much more slow than surface water. For surface water, it rains immediately. You have a bigger yield, no? But for groundwater, no, it can be maybe next year, in 2 years, you never know. Or when there are advantages to that. It means that if 1 year you have a drought, probably your groundwater will not change. Your levels will be the same because it's all, you know, longer process. If even 2-3 years, you may not still have a good access to groundwater. So, but the inconvenience is that also when you already affect and impact groundwater, it will take you years to recover. Yeah? So it depends. It's a generalization. Sometimes it's shorter processes and sometimes longer, but it's the difference with surface water. So we need data. There is no other way. And we need data. And which data do we need? So we need to measure the groundwater levels, the quality, and also how much we pump. No. And this we really support countries in doing that. We support a lot national institutions, but we are also very keen to support other initiatives at lower level. I mean, community or different levels to monitor the groundwater. You need a bit of information to do that. Of course, you have to do it, but that's not out of anyone can do that, being given a small training. So that's not that complex that we think. And this we support, because with data, then we understand what is happening underground. And with one data, you have nothing. But if you start to have 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, oof, when you have 10 years data, you have gold. I mean, yeah. And then you understand what is happening underground, and then you can make, and you can take decision, and you know what to do, maybe to preserve groundwater, because of course we have to preserve groundwater, because this is our saving account for our future. You know, surface water may disappear quickly if we have long droughts, or but groundwater, if we preserve it during long droughts, we will have this reserve, but we should preserve it. So use it very carefully, and we cannot deplete it. So this is what we do, and we collect data, we share data. We are very much in favor and trying to push in favor of open data, because when you have data open, and when countries have an open data policy, this boosts knowledge, research, and at the end, economic development. And that has been demonstrated, and that when you have access to data, you can take decision, but not only the government, a user can take decisions if he continue pumping or not, and etc. No? So that's a bit our role. In a short, we also analyze the data, support countries to understand what their data, with also simple methodology. We don't want to go with it's because sometimes we go to very complex modeling, but we don't understand the basics. So I think we have always to start with the basic, and already with that, we solve a lot of problems.
It's quite an interesting topic and work that this organization is doing, and
thank you.
Congratulations for all the work that you've been doing, and it's very quite inspiring. It's very quite educational. It's very quite saving humanity in a big way, in a global mass, because an average person would not understand the impact that IGRAC is doing in today's day and age. Because I've also been checking out your was it an interview, was it a conference? I think you spoke about where you were presenting a slide. What's happening now?
Yes.
Yes, where you were presenting a slide, just showcasing the ancient work that's been done by the organizations, specifically, like for showing the ancient work that has been done long ago, where they were using the old not technologies, but just those work that they've been doing in the past, the koi sands or whatever. But now there's new facilities. Can you just tell us about the facilities that are implementing in today's age, and how are they actually getting optimized efficiently now?
Yeah, so you mean about pumping groundwater or recharging? Which kind of technology?
No, there's like yes, pumping, exactly. It's pumping in reservoirs, pumping and inserting reservoirs underground.
Yes.
I think yes. You were talking specifically about the work that is actually the technology that is being implemented in the past, and the differences between the technology that have been implemented in the past and in today's age. Can you please elaborate more on those activities? Sure.
Yes, sure. So basically, what we observe now with some autochthone people, native populations, is that they had, of course, a quite good understanding of nature and interaction. And basically, we see that they understood that the water from the rain should infiltrate to recharge groundwater, no? And we see that today with the climate change, not only the climate change, but also the land use change, we have less water infiltrating and recharging groundwater in many places around the world because with deforestation, so there is much more runoff and erosion because of concrete soil impermeabilization, because also the rainfall pattern change. It's more intense in a short term, so water has no time to infiltrate. So we saw that, of course, to keep the land as it is, forest to have vegetation, all this help. But also we saw that if we are able to retain water, rainfall and runoff a bit more inland, so to slow the velocity with which the water, when it's go from rainfall to the sea, for example, then we force somehow, we enhance the infiltration. So you have some technology. I mean, it's very simple, and sometimes it's what they were doing before to put some natural dikes in the river or in the channel, and then the water, the speed of the water decrease, and the water has time to infiltrate and recharge the groundwater, and we improve the storage. And now this is called nature-based solution. Now we mimic the nature. So it's quite a fashionable word now that they like to employ, but at the end it's mimicking the nature and what we're doing also people before. And what we have to do is the water cycle is accelerating somehow, and the water cycle is disturbed. And we have to, and groundwater is a key element of the water cycle. This is the storage really element, and this is, I mean, and not only for us, but groundwater feeds ecosystems, for example, wetlands, rivers, springs, some forests use groundwater. So this is a whole ecosystem that we have to preserve, and helping nature to infiltrate the rainfall is a very good way. So it's not technology. And now, of course, this is where you can do that, but we also do it in a more technological way. So this is what we call the managed aquifer recharge. You may have seen this, sometimes we call it MAR, managed aquifer recharge. So that means that, for example, you drill a borehole or a well and you pour water in it, so it's infiltrating and recharging the aquifer. Or you do ponds, where you put water, for example, from the river, from the floods, or except from the rain, and you infiltrate. You can do it in trench. So this is something that it's more and more used today. What we have to remember it's that it's good to find solutions to have more water and technology, but this will not solve the problem. We have to also, so it depends where, because, for example, in Europe or in maybe more developed countries, we have to use less water. I mean, if we don't use less, there is no technological solution that will solve our problem. Of course, in other countries, we need at least to reach and to serve the people don't have enough water because they don't receive, or there is not the infrastructure, and so this is another issue. Of course, we cannot tell them to use less water; they already have so little, no. But we this is what we call the boundary of the planet. We have to respect also, and we have to learn to lower consumption where we are consuming too much, and also to ensure that the one who have not enough get so this is a leveling. But yeah, this is the managed aquifer recharge, and it's really promising. It's not possible everywhere. It's something that's a bit complex, but this is a new technology. Yeah.
That's great to hear. Even now, because I'm in South Africa, and I want to know about the impacts that you foresee in the future, with the increasing climate change and
yeah. So
the amount of that's just
yeah. So depends on the areas. There is different impact. So as I said, the rainfall almost everywhere the rainfall pattern has changed. We have more intense rainfall and then longer dry periods. So the problem is that does affect the recharge of groundwater, water from the rainfall going into the ground to be then be as groundwater. So in this case, yes, the recharge will be less, and this is the problem. So this is where we can help nature to recharge. Then in the coastal area, we have another problem. It's the rising sea level and the surges. So, and then with the risk of the salinization, it's in many places, this risk has already materialized. Salinization of groundwater in coastal area is a big problem. Yeah. So those are the two. And then climate change, rising temperature. So when you have rising temperature, you need more water. For irrigation, dry period, you need more groundwater. So the extraction will increase, and there is a limit to what you can extract, of course. The problem is the impact is, especially where you have irrigated agriculture. And this is can be a real problem because in many places groundwater get depleted because of too much extraction for agriculture.
Thank you so much for that specific insights into your expertise. So another thing, like for leaders who are looking to get into like your position and stuff like that, because the podcast is basically based upon entrepreneurship, leadership, growth and mindsets in terms of that. Because I'm also in the field of geology. I'm still doing my undergrad, almost finishing next year, which I'm so inspired. That's why I just called upon you and said, let's do this interview, Ms. Lictevout. So, like for leaders who want to get into a position, do you have any advice? Did you kind of get into this field with an interest of just going to the field without getting paid, or you just loved, exploring about the groundwater levels, the impacts that it has on, civilization and just globally? As I've seen your work even on YouTube, it's just super impeccable, but it's not within an understanding of an average person, because it's just gonna look at that in the channel and look at the video and be like, yeah, it's talking about groundwater, but what does groundwater really have on us? Does it really have an impact? Is it really that so helpful, in the world and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I was trying to get into your thoughts and how you see the future and what are the future projects for the IGRAC organization specifically.
So first, yeah, personally, my interest came from really a very being very close to nature and loving nature. So there, of course, geology was as yeah, a fascinating area. But then when I discovered that I could also study water and geology, and I get I get what the most important is to be passionate about what one is doing, and yeah, because geology was nice, but it's like inert, no? And I needed to have also the social component, and I wanted to also work with people and do something of an impact. So hydrogeology and water was at the end perfect for that, no? And so understanding, also trying to understand something that you don't see. I mean, it's also very motivating, and curiosity, of course, is at the center, no? To be able to understand by different means, direct and indirect, what's happening on the ground. It's just very, very rewarding and very nice. So and then so IGRAC, now we have, we have what we call moonshot. We have some, we want to reach something, and it's that we want to be able to have data, groundwater data from all the countries around the world, and to be able to understand the status of groundwater everywhere, no, all around the world, and with that, to improve the quality and the quantity of groundwater. So we first point is data, is to be able to have data from all over the world and analyze it, understand it, and say, okay, this is where we are, and then being able to improve the status of groundwater. So this is what we want as IGRAC at the end. But not only, and there is another dimension, because this is sustainability. But we know now that it's not enough sustainability, and that we need also, with sustainability, we need equity. Because if it's sustainable, but sustainable for only some of us, some people and no other, it's not good. So we need equity in the access, and this is what we are going for.
It's very, very inspiring to hear, and also we applaud the work that you're doing in our place. Just so
Thank you very much.
So impactful, and also because there's this book by Viktor Frankl. I don't know if you know, it's Man's Search for Meaning. It says you have to find purpose in life through doing something greater when it's insignificant. Because I could see you have your passion. I could see that it's enlightening you every day. You can even speak about it for long periods of time, and that's what makes the world turn around. We just love the knowledge you're sharing, the wisdom, and the impact that you're actually going to be having in this world. And we actually appreciate that. And just please keep on doing your work, and it's truly inspiring to even to look at and see. And just thank you for coming through the show, and it's been an honor to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you to you to invite me. It was very nice.
Thank you. You can stop the recording there.
Okay.
So
Okay.